Hey guys, I wanted to talk about something interesting that's kind of been on my mind lately, and it's a pretty cool subject. A lot of people ask the question, or you hear the question asked a lot, who am I, right? And it's kind of a self-discovery thing, and it's an interesting question because a lot of us have a pretty quick answer to the question, right? Like, who am I? I'm Thomas, and I was raised in Utah, and I went to this school, and I, do this job now. But those are all things that have been added to or given to us, right? In one way or another, like your name was given to you. It wasn't necessarily who you were. It was what you were called, right? And so the interesting thing is, if you say, well, okay, I'm 6'2" and I'm 220 pounds. Well, that's true now, but when I was born, I wasn't 6'2", and I didn't weigh that much. And if you were to take a selfie of yourself, from the time of birth to now, it's not the same, right? Like you're completely different. You can continually change over time. But one thing that's consistent is that whoever you are has been there to experience all of those different moments. Um, and so the other crazy thing too is that your body itself is not the same in any way, shape, or form. Your cells come, they grow, they die, and your body continually regenerates over time. So who you were when you were born to who you are now, or at least your body, is not the same in any way, shape, or form. However, we have memories, we have experiences, but even your brain has changed. It has cycled through over time. So there's something in the background that has experienced and been through all of these things the whole time. So I read it. I read an interesting book. It's called The Untethered Soul, and it offers this up and basically says this: you are the observer, and the observer is kind of outside of everything, right? Like the observer has no opinion. The observer has no bias. So when you were born, if this makes sense, you didn't have an opinion. You didn't have a political party. You didn't like a certain thing or dislike a certain thing. All those opinions came with experience. And so in the beginning, you were really pure in the sense that you didn't think one thing or the other. Now, the interesting thing about this that I think is powerful for now is basically the observer can sit back and observes everything that passes through your life. Different things come and go, people, places, experiences, they all come and go. And what's interesting is you become whatever you put your attention towards, whatever you allow your attention to be. So as the observer, we have a choice in some cases where we get to choose what we put our attention to, what we give our energy to. And with this being said, even now today, you get to choose where you're going to put your energy. If someone comes up to you and they start, yelling at you and getting upset, for a split second, you have the choice of whether or not you're going to give your attention to that. Because if you do give your attention to that, for the moment, you become that. That is what you are. You're an angry, upset person. So when we think about this in day-to-day life, we really do get the choice to decide who we are and what we are. And I would say, above all else, meditation has helped me more than anything give myself a slight barrier or a buffer zone between that millisecond of making a decision on whether to engage in something. And it kind of helps me sit back a little bit and say, do I want to be a part of this? Is this who I want me to be? And it gives me just a little bit of time to say, no, I'm going to push that aside. I'm not going to think about that thought. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to put my energy and attention elsewhere, because over here, this is what I want. This is what I want to be. And that's where I'm going to put my attention. I'm not going to allow myself to go into that um, negative self-talk or be around negative people, because I don't want to be a negative person. I want to be a positive person. So I, for a moment, have the idea where I get to choose what I put my attention towards. This was cool for me because it really did allow me to see things in a whole new light. Um, the only thing that we can control in this life is that choice, where we put our time and energy, where we put our attention. That's the only thing we get to choose. That's the only thing that's in our control. Everything else is out of our control. So we can stop stressing about what other people are doing, because if you think about it, they're all observers too. And if they're in a bad state or a negative state of mind, they're allowing themselves to become a part of that. And so you get that choice. And it really makes a difference in your day-to-day life when you keep that in mind, that you get the choice where you want to put your attention. I thought that was a really cool thought, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Check out the link below. My website's listed. Check out my website, and I'll see you guys soon.